Hey guys, it's Faces Sins, and we are back with more Charade Maniacs. And you know, listen, I, s- I Futami's route has really taken it out of the park with the craziness in it. So like, I'm not mad about this anymore. I mean, okay, I still don't like not using a guide and like whatever, but like after like the last couple parts, like though, here we are, we're having a great it's really curbed my annoyance with that whole process. So, this is crazy. But anyway, so we were about to go have a conversation with Futami now. So, after everything and after the events of our. It's been a day. Like, I played the last part yesterday and I'm just like, what happened? I don't know, whatever. Yeah. So, interesting. Finally, going to talk to the man. It's his goddamn route. But anyway. I entered Futami's room for the first time. Although it was supposed to have the same layout, it appeared completely different from mine. Yours has some pillows, that's about it. It was probably because of what was inside. Oh, right, because he used to make jewelry and stuff, so he's got all this stuff. Oh, that's kind of cool. A mallet and metal stick? What tool is that? There's also a burner, tweezers, and clay. Yeah, the silver clay and that long, obviously the tweezers. You've got the little sticks and stuff, the mallet to hammer things out, and then that bigger metal tube in the back that looks like a baton, that's a ring sizer. I know, I have one. I had silver clay at one point. I literally had all these tools, but like, um, I never, I'm not good at sculpting. So, like, yeah, that wasn't ever going to work well. Oh, there's a ring over here. Oh, silver crafting. I was observing what was on the desk, and Futami chuckled to himself. It had been a while since I'd seen him laugh. I'm surprised you remembered. Of course I remember. You were in vocational school for art and you like silver crafting. Whatever. That's not important right now. Here, have a seat. His expression darkened again and he casually offered me the chair. Oh, as he casually offered me the chair. Sorry. Um, are you angry, Futami? Me? I'm not angry. Although I admit I'm not in the best of moods. Just saw a terrible drama just earlier. I just saw terrible drama just earlier. Didn't. Stop it! Tim! Ronald! The fuck! Stop! Well, seriously, who translated Futami's route? Because, like, I just want to have a conversation and it's not going to involve a backhand for being stupid. Like, why do they keep typing the weirdest shit? Makes no sense. Seriously, like, I don't remember Iochi's and like route being like this or the common route. Like, there is obviously a very different person who translated this and then just didn't edit it. They just typed a bunch and it was like, did you go through and like read through and go, yeah, that doesn't sound right. Let me adjust that. Cause like, seriously, did you let the intern do it? Like, guys, good lord. Terrible drama? No, never mind. So what do you want to talk about? Well, but by the way, have you finished that ring yet? Or are you still working on it? I chickened out after hearing he wasn't in a good mood and ended up changing the subject. You know, I was asking the questions. Well, that one's still a work in progress. I have to adjust the shape and do the finishing. Finishing? How does that work? I was definitely interested in what Futami was making, so I leaned over to look at it. Futami relented and showed me the rest of the process and what it involved when he saw I was interested. And this stick is called a cord bar, and hammering the nail on it. Well, hammering the nail on it allows you to adjust the sizing. He placed the ring over the metal stick and hammered it with a mallet. It was the same sounds I heard outside the door. Ah, so he wasn't crying. He was just shit. I remember that now. Hammering it like this allows you to widen the size of it little by little. This ring is a size 20, so that should do it. He removed the ring from the cord bar and then hammered the other side of the ring. After he was done, he took some sandpaper to it to polish it. It might sound offensive to compare the two, but I do a lot of handicrafts at home. Handicrafts? I'm sure you can make detailed stuff. It's really just a hobby. I've made accessories and bags for my sisters before. It was fun to mindlessly make something. I understand. Similar to when you're fully concentrating. Tommy removed the rings off the ring finger of his left hand and then put on the ring he had just finished polishing. I'll add more detailed patterns to it later, but that's pretty much complete. Is it for yourself? Who else would it be for? Or do you want it? I'm sure my fingers are thinner than yours. Not me in general, actually, but I meant her, compared to him, I do want it. That's like so cute. Unless you wanted it. I mean, I'd take it. It's weird. I do want it. I'd be like, I'll take it. I'm not going to say no to free shit. He might have said it as a joke, but I nodded seriously. It'll be like our wedding. Now we're married! Uh-oh. Good God, next you're going to hold hands. Tommy then placed the ring on the desk and turned to me. I started doing handmade stuff when my younger brother complimented me about being good with my hands. Huh. Back then, my younger brother was everything to me. That was just how things were. I wondered how he was staying. I wondered how what he was saying connected to the ring. Okay, no, that's just me can't read. And I waited for him to continue. My younger brother was a great guy. You'd call him the typical honor student. Parents also loved him so much. Sounds like he's dead. Did you come here looking for a brother too? I also cared about him. I wanted to be a good older brother, so I acted like one. After a while, I couldn't keep it up anymore. My younger brother stopped paying any attention to me. This is weird. It's probably boring to hear. I personally want to forget about it. It's kind of interesting. Are you Iochi's older brother? I'm just kidding. You would know, but it's just strange. Like, oh, my younger brother used to say I was good with my hands, so I started doing this crafting stuff, and I wanted to be a good older brother, and then he stopped paying attention to me, so now I'm mad about it. It's just, I feel like there's more to it than that, but the way it's just kind of vaguely written, it's you just usually you'd think it's a younger sibling. I just really wanted them to pay attention to me, my older brother, and now he's I wanted my younger brother to pay attention to me. A little strange. I feel like something was lost in translation, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But tell me, you had a younger brother. Yeah, I never mentioned it because there wasn't a need to talk about it. I wondered if that was the reason that Futami was reluctant to go back. The reason that he was fixed on Arcadia. Is it because he thinks there isn't anyone who'll welcome him back? If that were the case, just thinking about it was heart-wrenching. Unless it's you're a deadbeat and your family hates you or some shit, but it just seemed like your brother kind of or yeah, maybe when your brother was younger, it was little kid looks up to their older sibling, oh, and then he got to his own, yeah, whatever. No, I'm a moody, bitchy teenager, and it's oh, but that still wouldn't really make you ever be I don't want to go back now. It's he'll get over it. Most people get over their moody, bitchy teenager phase, except for me. Still stuck in it. I'm fucking old, but never gonna leave it. My older sister and I had this conversation because on my birthday, I think she texted me at fucking 4 a.m. She's I was up at 3:30, and I'm the fuck are you, old? Jesus Christ, Grandma. She goes to bed at she's literally an old lady. She's I think I've always been an old lady. I'm I've always been a bitchy teenager. So she really has always been 80 years old inside. It's fucking, I'm old, but I am not so old where I'm it's 7 p.m. I can go to bed. I'm no, it is the weekend. I will stay up till 2 a.m. I don't care if I'm falling asleep on the couch. I will stay up because I can. I need to make the most of this and sleep in. I don't like getting up before 8. I don't. I hate it. In fact, I like to sleep till at least 8:39. Depending on when I go to bed. But I don't want to go to bed before 11. But sometimes I have to, and it's when you have to wake up early for work, you're I have to go to bed. It's not even 10 o'clock. I don't want them. I don't like it. But anyway, point was most people grow out of their bitchy teenager phase, except for me. But whatever. So I don't know why that would mean Futami doesn't want to go back, So there's got to be more to it, but is he trying to say that he's different from me? Maybe he wants me to back off and not come closer. Am I glad that I heard him talk about this? Which one of us is the crazy one? In truth, your hands are just as dirty as ours. Although I felt afraid, I still sensed a wall between us that I couldn't understand. Are you the same Futami that I've been talking with just the other day? You're like a completely different person. I am the same person, fortunately. Maybe it made him feel more guilty because Akase reminded him of his younger brother and he was trying to help him and then he killed him and now he feels guilty. I mean, you would think with Futami seeming like the nice character that, like, that seems like a valid response, you know what I mean? I wish I was a different person. Like, what if there was another me up until yesterday? I'm sure that you'd continue to believe in him. Isn't that right, Sena? I'd suspected that he was a different person, and I went to him immediately. I want a ring. Can you make one for me? Make a ring for someone or for family. I wanted to believe in the kindness of Futami, to believe in the man who cares about others. Now he looks sad. Can't you? However, he could once again strike fear in me with that cold and quiet gaze at any time. It's so funny because you're like, oh, he's such a nice, warm, caring, older brother kind of person. And then now you're like, he just strikes fear into me with that cold gaze. Like, this is new. You know what I mean? But it seems like you've always been wishy-washy. Like, he has a cold gaze that strikes fear to me, but he seems like a nice person. Like, no, this is new. Like, this is literally like since Akase, right? And it's like, but it's so bizarre that they just threw that in. And like, I'm supposed to not think that he's just putting up a front here, you know? I don't know. Even if Iochi gets angry, just like during that drama, her anger wasn't directed at you. It was directed at me. Iochi assumed you were on my side and took all that anger out on you. It'll end up the same way again if you're with me. But it wasn't a misunderstanding, Futami. I won't be your enemy. If that means we're on the same side, then so be it. I'm well aware that I'm the one who brought you to this, but I can't bring myself to tell you to stick around until the end. It's okay for you to live your own life. Don't show pity to a total stranger if it's going to anger those around you. That sounded like a warning. There had always been a clear border between Futami and me, and I was standing there in that moment. But if you and I get yelled at together, I don't mind at all. Please let me be with you. Please tell me what you're actually thinking. And then, give me your hand. I held out my hand and we placed our palms together gently as if we were touching a glass sculpture. Futami then held out my fingertips. Oh, look at it. Look, I'm sorry. Oh my god, how inappropriate is this? He's touching my hand. Jesus Christ, Futami, I'm basically pregnant now. How lewd. It's a good CG, though. Is the ring finger okay? I guess you prefer the thin type. I'll leave that to you. I've never really worn rings before. Huge responsibility for me, then. I'll think about it carefully when I make it. It's a reward for your sacrifice to me. This sounds oddly romantic in the weirdest kind of way. Sacrifice? There's nothing else I can give you, and it feels like you're taking a risk for me. I didn't say that I wanted to be with you because I wanted something in return, Futami. Okay, so here's my thing about this. Everything, she's like, no, let me be with you. It's like, that sounds oddly romantic. Like, I want to be with you. Like, in love with you. Like, I want to date you kind of a thing. But I feel like this is a weird time for this to come out because we've never had really romantic moments. We've had friendly, big brother type moments. And I feel like, again, there's a translation thing going on here. Like, because, like, maybe the actual word she's saying is, I want to be with you. But the meaning to that, usually in Otome games, when I want to be with you, it's in the more romantic sense. And I don't feel like that should be coming out here. It feels weird. I feel like it's more like I want to be friends with you. I want to support you type of a thing. Like, I want to be there for you. Like, I'm not losing this bond, this friendship we have just because other people, like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's, I want to be with you. I didn't say I wanted to be with, like, it's such a, when you look at it in most Western media, like, that's more like in a romantic sense. You know, I want to be with you. You don't go to your friends and be like, I want to be with you. Don't say that to your friends. That's fucking weird. Your friends would be like, are you okay? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, and so I'm sitting here like, it feels really weird to be having this conversation with Futami, because if it's supposed to be more romantic, it's very lackluster, I guess. Because we're like, I want to be with you. I didn't say I wanted to be with you. He's like, okay, whatever. And it's like, there doesn't seem to be any romance there aside from the words that are coming out of my mouth. But I don't think the words that are coming out of her mouth right now are meant to be in the romantic sense at this point. Maybe deep down, like, she's got these feelings, but, like, this is not supposed to be a declaration of love. But, like, the phrasing is usually what they use for that. You know what I mean? So it's, like, it's awkward right now, because I'm like, we just, like, saying, like, I'm gonna be there for you, pal. But they use the language that they're going to use later. Like, I want to be with you. And it's supposed to be romantic then, but not now. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird. I'm very, like, because if it's supposed to be romantic right now, it's very lackluster and I'm not feeling it. This feels more like we're having a bromance, which is cool and all, but it's not really super romantic, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You don't want anything. Are you sure about that? The way he questioned me seeped deep into my body like some sort of sweet paralysis. It made Jesus Christ. It made me feel like the opportunity to back out was sinking into the darkness. Tell me, is there something you want? Or are you satisfied with your current situation? Don't you want to change how the others are treating you? Can't be helped. It is my fault. But in the end, I'm only thinking of myself. I'm a self-centered human being. That's why I may look sorry, but the truth is, I actually feel happy. I feel happy that you came to my room and that you said you wanted a ring. See, now this is getting a little more romantic-y. You know what I mean? This is leaning like, okay, are you flirting with me now? But like the I want to be with you, I don't think was meant to be like a romantic declaration. But again, they use that terminology, they use that phrasing for romantic declarations, and I don't think it's appropriate to use it when it's like, I want us to be friends, I want to support you type of a thing. And I feel like whoever translated Futami's route kind of should have made a little more distinction there instead of just translating it straight and been like, okay, wait, you know? Or the writers did a shitty job making that moment romantic. This is getting a little romantic over here. Sure, now we're leaning into it, but before I want to be with you. Okay, cool. What? You know what I mean? Like, it was very lackluster if it was supposed to be romantic. I don't know. I don't know what end is up right now. So, little confused. This. We're leaning into the role. I feel this. Okay. Makes me happy. Just seeing you in front of me. I almost gasped out of nervousness, but I managed to suppress it. I didn't know how to react. I felt my ears getting hotter as I continued to look at Futami's fingertips. After he took my finger measurements, Futami let go of my hand. Although I felt a sort of longing, I finally talked about why I was there. Futami, there's actually one more thing I wanted to tell you. We discovered that there's a way to save Akase. It appears to be a way to help someone even if they arrived at a dead end. Huh. Is that really true? Yeah, it looks like it's possible to cancel out the dead end. However, we'd have to accumulate a lot of points to do that. I don't care how many points it is. If it can save a life, we should do it. Akase can be saved. I'll save up those points too. Even if it's not much, I can help a little bit. Then, will you save up points together with us? Of course. Be glad to help. Thank goodness. Those words brought me the most relief out of anything. I thought he might say that he didn't care about Akase or that he'd refuse to cooperate. I could understand your fear there because, like, now he's kind of shut himself off because everyone's ostracizing him. But he's not stupid. And if you were Gilbu, I would absolutely understand. You've been like, no, I'm not going to do it because you're a shady fucker, right? But, like, Futami seems like a decent character, and I'm still, until he tells us otherwise, I'm still thinking that, yeah, maybe he thought what he was doing was the right thing, and it just, again, not a good idea, poor execution, and not the right time for it, So, thinking that's the case, then coming up to him and being like, we figured out a way that we can do it, he'd be like, yeah, because I feel responsible. and anything I can do to help get him back, because it was kind of my fault, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But I was wrong. That's more than enough for me. Thank you for telling me about it. Is that everything you wanted to tell me? Yes. Well, let's talk about the other things tomorrow. I don't want to keep you in my room too late. Other things? Are you free tomorrow? It wouldn't be right to do it in the lodging, so let's go outside. How about right around after lunch? Yeah, that'll be fine. He smiled in response, and then he opened his door to see me out. Thank you for talking to me. However, I might have said some stuff I shouldn't have. That's not true at all. At least with you, I can tell you anything. Good night. Sweet dreams. Yeah, I feel like what he meant in that case is like, I shouldn't have told you I was happy that you were here. That I'm happy with you being near me. Like, because that was getting a little romantic. I also shouldn't have said, I need to be with you. Because again, those are romantic lines, but I didn't mean it romantically. You started getting a little sweet and romantic, sir. Ugh. Ah! I felt embarrassed and my ears turned even redder. I actually asked him to make me a ring. And he's going to make one to fit my finger. I love how that's like, oh my god, like, my friends asked me to make them jewelry. I would absolutely do it and it wouldn't be weird. You know what I mean? It's making me a ring. Like I don't know. I mean, it's culturally, it's kind of funny. It's like, oh my god, he touched my hand. We're married now. They're holding hands, those degenerates. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's kind of funny. I remembered Futami's big hands when he gently touched mine to measure me. What is this? My heart won't stop pounding. I do like this, though, because it would be the thing. Like, okay, yeah, make me a ring. And that person holds your hand and they're measuring your finger and stuff, and you're like, oddly find this sexy. And wait, what? Nah, I could understand that. Like, you know, making her heart flutter. And she's like, why is this happening? But did I want to go to the other side because I had these feelings? It's all right. You aren't alone. I've always wanted to tell you that, and it was my intention all along. I didn't want to leave Futami by himself. I thought about what the reason for that may be. I wonder if, like, every route's gonna end up, like, we stay here for a while with them, because that's weird. Everyone ends that way, but... Before I could think deeply about it, I had taken a step forward. It must have been a much simpler reason. Even if I was scared and didn't understand, I didn't want to be separated from him. The reason why I wanted to believe... I think I have feelings for Futami. Yeah, see, so she just now figured it out. So her, I want to be with you is not romantic at all, so it was a weird phrasing. The finger that Futami touched still felt warm, even after all that time. I already told you yesterday. It doesn't matter what Futami's thinking. It doesn't change what he's caused. I love angry Iochi because it's so much sexier. Like, god damn it. It's not your route, Iochi, but like, god. Get a little angry. You did stab me and pin me against a wall. So, I mean, you know, in your actual route. But I mean, just like, man, if you slept glasses on, I don't think you need them, though. Like, Iochi's beautiful without them. And they work on Abana, so I'm just saying. But, like, damn! You're getting feisty and angry and kind of like the angry bitch face? Yeah. I'm here for this. Iochi, sir, I'm gonna need you to leave. You can't be taking my attention away from Futami, but here you are. Just being glorious. Oh, get your angry bitch face. I love it. After lunch, I happened to encounter Iochi in the living room and we talked about Futami. However, I didn't expect Iochi to stand so steadfast. Look, even if we can get Akase back from his dead end, I still wouldn't be able to forgive Futami. I told Iochi that Futami would cooperate in the effort to save up points for Akase, but Iochi's opinion didn't change. Tomose and Gyobu, who happened to be there, started to look at me suspiciously. Really? Gyobu's giving you sus eyes? That's something. It's typical for you to want to make everyone happy, but the fact remains that Kyoya died because of Ryoichi. Wouldn't it be bad if the same thing happened again? He isn't sorry about it at all. It's not that he's not sorry. Futami understands that he caused this situation. He said so himself. I think you should worry about yourself more than others. Huh? Everyone who has participated in previous streams has dropped out one by one and died the same way. It's impossible for everyone to remain on good terms and for everyone to survive. And trying to save everyone will make us pay dearly for it in the end. Right. I found it odd how you had seemingly forgotten about the existence of the traitor. Traitor? The producer and sponsor are among us. One of whom is probably in this room right now, staring at us. Look, glares at Gyobu, trying to look all innocent and shit. I already knew that. I like again how they keep trying to like push it off, like maybe Futami's suspicious. We wouldn't be in his route if he was. Let's just be real, so. But right as we quieted down, we heard footsteps coming down the stairs, and we turned to look. It was awful timing, because the footsteps we'd heard belonged to Futami. Of course it is. He didn't say a word as he passed through the living room and out the door. He didn't greet or look at anyone. Could you imagine? You come down the stairs, you know people were talking about you. At least I was defending him, so good. But then he just sees everyone's, "Sup, guys?" And everyone just glares, and he's like, "Okay, bye!" Of course you're not going to say hi to the people who are, like, stabbing you with their eyes. Well, considering how he is, there probably isn't a need to bury the hatchet. In the end, nothing had changed as I finished my conversation with them and snuck out of the lodging. I went searching for Futami, who'd left by himself. You know what? She's trying to be too nice. I'd be like, "God, I give up with you assholes!" And I just storm out. No one's going to chase after you. They're going to be like, "Leave her alone." They're men. You know what their response can be? "Leave her alone. She's probably on her period." Because anytime a woman is not happy, that's the automatic response, right? So I'm just saying. I'd finished lunch and went outside. As promised, I went window shopping with Futami. Hey, Futami! Want to see Abana's arm? We saw it the other morbing. Not morning, remember, it's morbing. Morbing! I forget every once in a while, but it does circle back. The shops in the other world are a bit strange, so it's fun to just look at them. Yeah, have you seen that shop before? Looks like a toy store. Huh? I haven't seen it before. Well, let's take a look. You'll find out right away. So this is the toy store. Yep. Why is there a tire here? And this is a boat oar? It's so random that... More of a junk shop than a toy store. Isn't it interesting? I think they gathered it without a plan. I mean, a tire, absolutely. You get some string, tie it to a tree limb, and it's a tire swing. Hello? Like, did none of you fools play outside as a child and, like, nobody had a tire swing? Come on. I mean, I get the oar, you know. Also, did nobody grow up in ye oldie days of lawn darts, sharp, pointy metal objects that you chucked at each other, and you hope nobody lost an eye? I mean, clearly, these children are in the generation of soft, squishy toys, not dangerous metal slides baking in the hot sun because you're trying to, like, slide down them, just literally burning the flesh off the back of your fucking leg. They also stopped 20 feet above the ground, so hope you didn't break your leg when you fell off. No, but everything, I mean, seriously, slides were a lot higher off the ground than, like, they are now, where it's like, you basically, like, it's a 2-inch drop, like, no. And they're not metal, either. Metal fucking... Our parents hated us as kids. I think whoever invented children's toys back in ye olde times really hated kids. I think it was better for me growing up than it would have been people in, like, the 40s and then and even beyond, like, earlier. Like, good God, did you even have toys? Here's a stick. Like, I'm just saying. Those could have counted as toys depending on what generation they're from. You know, kids that were born in the 1920s probably, here's your oar. Have fun. It's the only toy you have. Anyway. I'm just saying, use your imagination, tire swing. Maybe. Now that I think about it, there aren't any vehicles in this world. There are some things resembling vehicles, but how about we ask the bouncer? Maybe we can get a car or a motorcycle. Or a motorcycle. I don't know why motorcycle. It came out weird. A motorcycle, Jesus. It'd be nice to get a luxury car that you normally couldn't buy. I don't think they'd give it to us for free. What if they say we have to give them 10,000 points? I guess we shouldn't then. Do you have a license? Just for the motorcycles. But do licenses even matter in this world? Did I say just for the motorcycles? It's just for motorcycles. That's what he said. I don't know why. Look, that wasn't Tim's typing. That was me. In this world, I guess you wouldn't be arrested even if you didn't have a license. And it's not like you're going to hit anybody. Because the Arcadians aren't around, and it's not like you're going to hit another vehicle. So, like, you're fine. We spoke idly while we looked around at all the shops. It seemed that Futami was there often, as he knew where each shop was and what they had inside. Well, the last few days he's had nothing to do but poke around. Hearing him explain those things was comforting, and he seemed to release me from my annoying worries. It can be fun looking around the shops in Arcadia. Maybe it's because you're here with me, Futami. Again, go take him to the antique shop and show him Abana's arm. Hey, you showed me something interesting. You want to see something else interesting? Come with me. Is it Abana's arm? I've seen that. I just want that to be a thing now. That's a wonderful compliment. When I worked part-time doing customer service, they did tell me I was charismatic with customers. It did feel like I was sweetly escorted just now. It is somewhat similar, but today we're on a date. Whoa, sir. Huh? That sudden statement made my mouth gape in surprise. Futami then seemed to enjoy my reaction as he stared at me without saying anything. A date? Yeah, you gotta tell a girl first. Well, isn't it? I don't care what you call it, but we are going out together right now. Is it because I said I wanted to be with you and you're making me a ring? I mean, he is making me a ring. Girl, he was going to put it on your ring finger. That's almost engaged. So, yeah, I guess we're married. He held my hand. That's basically sex. So, like, hi. After saying that, we held hands and he guided me to the next shops. As for me, I couldn't think of anything. But now we're holding hands. See? Married! We can't see our reflections in the glass. My face is so... Oh, we can see our reflections. I was like, we can't? That's weird. We can see our reflections in the glass. My face is so red. I tried to tell myself to calm down over and over again, but then he suddenly threw a question my way. What were you talking about with Iochi and the rest earlier? The side profile is beautiful. They really do good with the 3/4 and side profiles. But, like, the front on is, like, sometimes questionable. It's so bizarre. It's so drastically different. It's not even like, okay. You know, okay. Like, we joke about Nicola's front-facing sprite from Pioviore being, like, wrong. But, like, he was... Everybody else was fine. You know what I mean? That was just, something is wrong about you. But it is just weird that, like, 95% of the front-facing sprites are kind of just wrong in that. Like, yeah, nope, not feeling it. And then the 3/4 to and side profile is like spot on perfect. Like, how? It's so baffling. Like, should have just skipped to the 3/4 and the hat and the side, because then everybody looks really good. But the front on, most of them look a little fucking wrong, and just slightly creepy. Like, there's just, you know what I mean? It's so bizarre. Because, like, art is, like, a huge thing for me. We know this. So it's really weird where, like, sometimes I'm like, see, I like this. You look really good. And then the CGs are good. And then the front-facing sprites, I'm like, don't do that, though. And again, it's not just one or two characters. It's most of them. Most of them just don't. The front-facing sprite is just wrong. Don't do it. It's really bizarre. It never stops hitting me as how weird it is. Like, you know, like, you just look like a totally different person. It looks like it's the difference between, like, official art and fan art. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're like, Even though fan art can be beautiful and amazing, it's just, you know what I mean? You're like, the official art's great and the fan art's great, but they're definite, it's like two different people drew them, obviously. You know what I mean? And that's what this is. It's like whoever did the front facing sprites is like, okay, but the 3/4 and the side profile is a totally different artist who's just better. Like, fucking bizarre. Don't know what it is. Why? It's so weird, guys. Never stops feeling weird. I don't know. I was sort of thankful for the question. It forced me to calm down. Really? This would have given me other panic. We were talking about how someone can return from a dead end, and about you, Futami. I see. I'm sure they weren't very agreeable, even if I said I would cooperate. Yeah, basically. But it hasn't been that long since Akase... Once everyone calms down, I'm sure that... It's alright. Don't push yourself like this. I told you, didn't I? I'm happy just to have you. But... I remembered you saying that, but... Would that really be enough? Maybe it really couldn't be helped if they all felt the same way. He's over there like, I got the only girl in this place. Good luck to those fucks. I am the prize. Wait. I don't... Do I like that? Oh, yes and no. Yes, I like, ha ha ha, my man harem, it's all about me, but also it's a little weird. Like, as Tomose said, would it be better if we just focused on ourselves? On ourselves. I stopped to think about it, and being pulled by my weight by our hands, Tommy also stopped walking. That makes sense, but it was awkward to read. Like, Futami's not terrible front-facing. Like, he's fine. He's one of the fine ones. Like, okay, you're fine. Still think your side profile is better, but he's not, like, uncanny awkward, like, please don't do that. Like, poor Tomose, please don't ever look at me front-facing, because you look awkward and your hair is stupid. But when you do 3/4 or side, it's like, well, see, now you're kind of hot. Like, Futami's fine front-facing. It's like, yeah, you're still fine. You're still okay. Iochi actually is, too, so... Futami was tall, so when I looked up at him, I could feel my heart pound. I like the time that we spend together. I know. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to be alone with me like this. He pulled me by my hand, and Futami was another step closer. He gently looked down at me, and his somber expression made me hesitate. Looking up at Futami from down here, I think it's the first time I've seen him this way. I don't know if you realize it, but you and I are quite similar. Is that so? To be exact, you're like my past self. That's why I know what it is that you want. I think you can fulfill your desires with me. I can't provide everything for you, but you can feel fulfilled that way. You can fulfill your desires with me. Sir! Phrasing! It's inappropriate! Oh! I don't think you meant it like that, but my mind's dirty, so... Fulfilled? That's right. And the fact that you're in front of me right now, it means that your future's already promised. That's why you just need to let me guide you. This is very odd conversation right now. Utami's words echoed in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, it could totally be innocuous, but there's also something that is like, this sounds a little strange. However, I couldn't keep up with what he'd said, so I continued to stare at Futami in a daze. I let Futami do everything. I wondered why the world seemed so slow around me. Did I stop thinking completely? Maybe. Is he the leader of a cult? Because I feel like we're getting led into a cult or some shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, cult leaders, like, say things and you're like, see, they're saying these were, and if you were to listen to them, like, not that I've ever heard a cult leader, but, like, they're very charismatic and they say things, and then before you know it, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. And then you're like, how did you fall for that? And it's like, yeah, but you know what I mean? There's a way to say things where you're saying something and it sounds totally innocuous, but underlying it's extremely suspicious and dangerous. You know what I mean? And I feel like, and that's the vibe I'm getting here. Like, I feel like there's something not maybe sinister, but there's something not as just innocent in your words as they're trying to make them come out. And maybe they're totally just innocent words and it's nice and it's nothing sinister. But it's like the way they made it in this game, like the way they wrote it. So I'm giving them credit here for this. That, like, it's not like, hey, stick with me, kid. We'll do great. Okay, cool. The way they had Futami phrase this is like, it sounds like, I don't want to say it's not sinister. It's just heavy. It's just not at, you're just like, you have this feeling like, should we be trusting what you're saying right now? Like, I kind of like that they did that because, you know, probably totally innocuous, but you're like, I don't know why this feels dangerous right now. Huh. Questionable. It's questionable is what it is. And you're like, huh. And I like that because it could be totally innocent and he's just straightforward saying, and then you're over here like, I don't know, man. Like, it's good. Like, huh. Or I'm just reading into it. Either way, I'm liking the vibe, so. Or had it always been like that? I didn't think too deeply about it. I realized that it had been like that for so long. The sound suddenly brought me back to reality from what felt like the slowing of time. It's a drama. It was unbelievable to say anything while Futami looked at me. Oh, I was unable to say anything. Wow, it was unbelievable? I can't read, guys. Whatever. I was unable to say anything while Futami looked at me. He then turned to look at his bangle. I also turned to look at my bangle similarly, and both Futami and my names were there. Oh. Stream status. Drama starts in 3 minutes. Stream content. Ophelia's Knife, Episode 1. Genre, romance drama. Ophelia's Knife doesn't sound promising. Cast, Sumire, Spacey Sena. Akuta, Ryoichi Futami. Ophelia, I think that's from Hamlet? Yeah, and she got a knife. Right, it's Shakespeare. It was a long time ago, but I remember watching a video with Tomose. I only know the basic summary and the role names are in Japanese. I'm sure it's just some ordinary Japanese drama. I don't know, Ophelia's got a knife, bro. But considering Hamlet's one of the 4 great tragedies, this one's also... Tommy made a wry smile as he scrolled through the screen. After reading the script, he laughed again. So this is the role they want from me here. Huh? A tragedy. Reminds me of that famous line. I followed through the script and then heard that line. To be or not to be? That is the question. Of course. The most fucking cliche goddamn Shakespeare line ever. Next to Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Like, seriously. I'm pretty sure those are like the 2 fucking lines if you said Shakespeare. Anyone could motherfucking quote. We were teleported to the park, and I turned pale after finishing the script. We have to stab him, don't we? What is this? The outline of the drama went like this. Sumire, the protagonist, fell in love with an employee at a florist. But the employee, Akuta, is much older and doesn't pay any attention to Sumire. He's much older, yes. Doesn't pay attention. Well, that's not true here, but... One day, Sumire saw Akuta carrying a big bouquet on his way to somewhere. Sumire stops Akuta and reveals her feelings for him. That's so hard to say. But he rejects her, saying he's in love with someone else. Shocked by that, Sumire takes the scissors she happened to have and stabs him, bouquet and all. I knew it! It said Ophelia's knife! Okay, but she got scissors. That's good. You have to stab him! You know what's gonna happen, right? She's not gonna be able to do it. She's gonna hesitate. I have the scissors and I'm gonna... And then he'll just impale himself on the scissors. To get the point. You know what I mean? We're not gonna be able to stab him. She couldn't fucking push Haiji out a window. I mean, even though she knows, okay, it's gonna hurt for a while, but then he'll be healed. She's not gonna do it to Futami. She is not gonna stab him. Thank God Iochi had the balls to fucking stab us when needed. I'm just saying. Because we definitely will not be able to do this. I would be shocked if she did it. In other words, I have to stab Futami. It's like the producer and the director, they're like, everyone hates Futami, except for Spacey. Let's make Spacey stab him. Anybody else would have stabbed Futami, no question. But they purposely set this up. Interesting. I can't do this. I thought you'd say that. Why would she try to kill him if she loves him? I don't understand this at all. She's probably on her period. Just kidding. Man logic. No, but I mean, obviously she's fucking loses her goddamn shit and she's a little crazy. That's why. You love someone, why would you stab them? 'Cause you a little crazy. That's the script. And these kinds of people do exist in real life. I know it's part of the script, but I can't bring myself to stab you, Futami. Did you forget? You have to save enough points to revive Akase. What if you take the punishment game here? Akase would never revive at this rate. Actually, you might die yourself. But, don't worry about me. It's drama, so the wound will heal immediately. But prepare yourself. If you intend on continuing to gain points, don't hesitate for something like this. Whatever you do to me, I don't mind. It's nothing compared to what you're shouldering yourself. Being stabbed by some scissors is nothing in comparison. Also, we could also just go like, I'm gonna stab you and kind of graze his side. You know what I mean? Also, you have to get a lot of momentum to stab him with scissors through a bouquet. And if you stabbed through the bouquet and like hit his breastbone, it would be like dink, and it might hurt a little bit, but it wouldn't actually like, you know what I mean? How big are the scissors? I'm just saying, there's ways you could probably fake it. My mind was a mess. Nothing in comparison. Was the thing I was about to do really so insignificant? Yeah, I don't know if she's actually going to do it. I kind of wish they would make her do it, just to shock and I was going to say surprise us and shock us, and it was like like good God, I couldn't. Either one, but I kind of hope she does, because like, you know, I didn't think they had the balls to kill Akase, and they did. But again, we know that there's really no consequence to that, so he'll come back at the end, whatever, fine. I'm okay with that. Like, I don't think it cheapens it. It's not like, oh, whatever. It's like, no, that's cool. You killed him because you know he's going to come back at the end. And so there really are no stakes, but at least we feel the tension. And you're not like, well, there's no stakes, so let's not bother. No, do it anyway. So like this, stab him. What is wrong with me? Guys, I'm getting prepped for Shua no Verche, okay? Because that's going to be dark and depressing and kind of sad, probably. Going to make me cry a lot. Which I might have at this point when you're seeing this. When I'm recording it, I don't. It's coming out. Like, people are getting theirs shipped. I had it on pre-order, so mine could be shipping anytime now. And like, and I want to play that one. So I don't know if it's going to be after this one or after our other game, whichever one ends first. That one's coming. So like, probably not till 2024 though at this rate, because like, hi, neither one of these games is going to finish. But goddamn. So I mean, I need to start stabbing and make it a little traumatic so I get used to this, because I don't think I can handle that otherwise. I say this and I'm going to play that game and be like, I hate this. This is so awful, because I don't think the happy endings are really happy from what I understand. So I don't know. Anyway. Stabbing someone in order to revive someone else. Those are the rules of this world. Yeah, but he's not going to die, and it's only going to hurt for a minute. And I actually like that we get to be the stabby one. I hope she does it. You know? Because it's kind of like we always have, like, all these love interests. Like, I kind of want... We're always, like, sweet, innocent little wallflower girls. And it's like, no, I want to be the psycho that stabs people. We got to be a little bit of a psycho in Taisho Ellis. You know what I mean? Not really, but, like, still. Sassy, a little fucking, you know, demented. Like, you know, but I mean, like, I kind of, let's stab someone. I don't think have we ever actually stabbed someone in any game? I don't know. So, like, I want this innocent little dainty wallflower. It's like, I can't, I'm too nice. Stab him. Do it. Oh, God. The Sumire character that I will be playing, I sat on the bench and had my bag next to me while I was looking at the image displayed on my bangle. I looked at the image so full of happiness as I whispered to myself, Kuda, you're so wonderful no matter when I look at you. But my hands shook and I assumed that my face was completely pale. As I continued, my line carried with them no emotion. Late today, I thought the shop would be closing soon. That's with no emotion. Like, he's late today. I thought the shop would be closing soon. How will he understand my feelings for him? I let out an exasperated sigh and waited for that moment to come. Soon I'd see a man carrying a bouquet coming through the park. That would be Futami's character, Akuta. Here's what's interesting. This is episode 1 and we have to stab him already. I don't think there's going to be an episode 2. It's Akuta. Sumire would have to cry out with joy and stand up from the bench. Then she'd stop after seeing his expression. I like how happy he looks. I've never seen him so happy. Akuta looked happily at the bouquet as he headed off somewhere. It was obvious that he was going somewhere special, or perhaps he was going to someone special. I can't take this anymore. I hadn't been following the stage directions at all. I didn't have the mental capacity to check, but I was sure I didn't get many points either. Considering what I had to do as part of the act, I really wanted to run away. But if I give up, then what about Akase? I wouldn't be able to do anything for Akase, and I'd also break my promise with Yoichi. It would also betray Futami's expectations, and I'd be siding with no one. Oh, but I'm scared. I picked up the scissors inside the bag beside me. They were a pair of gardening shears. Oh, okay, that's a little more legit than, scissors. You know what I mean? Sumire must have practiced gardening as a way to approach Akuta. It was weird to carry that around on her person, but the protagonist wouldn't be taking those actions if she wasn't this way in the first place. It really is weird to carry gardening shears, but I put the scissors behind my back and ran over to Futami. Good evening, Akuta. Sumire appeared from the darkness, and Akuta, while surprised, smiled kindly in response. Oh, Sumire. Good evening. You're out late today. I just came back from a cram session. I see. That must be tough. What's that bouquet? This? I guess you found me out. I got carried away with it and it won't fit inside a paper bag anymore. They show the little bouquet. It's so beautiful. I wanted to give this to someone, so I'm sorry, but I'll have to excuse myself today. Sumire would desperately call out Akuta's name as he began moving away. Akuta, there's something I want to talk to you about. Huh? It has to be right now, so please listen. Yeah, what is it? So, saying it like this seems so... I bit my lip and frowned. It wasn't in the script. Then I gather myself and read out that line. I love you. I love you, Akuta. Like we're saying I love you to Futami, right before we stab him. When I see you gently cutting the flowers, when I see you seriously gathering those flowers, when I see you calling out to the people buying your flowers. Good God, girl. It's the worst poem ever. I love you. I want to be your girlfriend, Akuta. By my declaration of love being void of emotion, Futami appeared surprised and confused convincingly. I don't think I was devoid of emotion. Was I as dramatic? I really should just always do them overly dramatic. It's more fun, but... I see. I'm sorry. I didn't notice at all. No, it's all right. I always knew that you were out of my league. It's so much more fun. I want your answer. I truly do love you, Akuta. I love you more than anything. I want to hear your response before I go crazy. And then when he says no, you go crazy and stab him. Futami looked at me with his brows lowered to show that he felt even more troubled. Then, I'm sorry. Can't reciprocate those feelings. There's someone else I love. In the same way that you said, fallen for her more than anything. I love her. Can't live without her. I'm sorry, but you just don't compare to her. When Futami said that, I forgot I was acting and I cried out. It's a drama. It's just a line in a drama, so there's no need to feel hurt. Do you love her that much? She saved me. Had it not been for her, I wouldn't be here today. I owe my life to her. There's something about the look on his face when he's saying that is so shady. I was preoccupied with acting myself, and I noticed that Futami's line was slightly different from the script. I couldn't verify it in detail. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't be yours. Not as long as she's here. I'll never belong to anyone. Akuta bowed deeply to Sumire and was about to walk away. Following the script, as Futami was moving away, I took the scissors in both hands and thrust forward. I shoved it as hard as I could through the bouquet. We actually stabbed him! I could feel that I hit something hard. I screamed out loud reflexively, and I dropped the shears on the spot. Oh my god, and they actually show... It's not really a CG, but like the flower... Oh my god, with the gardening shears, and he's got our hands in his. But as if he had expected that, Futami held the scissors together with my hand. He pushed the edge even deeper, as if it wasn't enough the first time. All we had to do was stab him. We did, and he's like pulling him. This is kind of what I expected. Like, we're gonna go to stab him, but we're not gonna be able to do it, so he's gonna ram himself on the scissors to like. But we did stab him, though. She did. She actually did. I'm so proud. God, man. Who knew all it took is like in some games sleeping with your brother, and in other ones stabbing someone. I've got a lot of problems. Dear God. No. I tried to pull away desperately, but I was unable to. During that time, the scissors continued to gouge at Futami's body, and I could feel the sensation on my palm. Maybe this is his penance, you know? Let go! I pleaded to Futami and looked up at him, and I felt a shiver down my spine. Oh my, we do get a full CG for this. His smile was composed. We felt pain even during the dramas. Even if wounds vanished after the drama ended, the pain he felt was real, nonetheless. Yet he was smiling. Well, that's fucked up. He enjoys it when we stab him. Well, now we have a new kink that we just unlocked with each other. After Akuta was stabbed with the scissors, he would drop to the ground. That was what the script called for. But Futami continued to smile in satisfaction. After slowly letting go of the scissors, I was finally freed, and I fell to the ground. Holy shit. They're like, that was even better! Right after returning, I quickly looked at my hands. Blood. It's gone. While I stared at my shaky fingers, the sound of the points I gained echoed violently in my ears. I only got 26 points for stabbing him? Stream points, 26. Total stream points, 580. 41. It's more than I thought. What about you? Tommy asked me so matter-of-factly that I looked up at him wide-eyed. Oh, sorry. Were you surprised? The Arcadians tend to like these extreme depictions. I thought I'd get more points doing it that way. As a matter of fact, we did get lots. Right. He was right. The 26 points were a lot more than what I'd usually get. If I could keep it up, maybe we'd be able to achieve the goal sooner than we thought. Not if you only have 500 points and you gotta get like 30,000 or some shit. But I'm sorry. I could still feel the sensation of stabbing Futami. No, there's no need to apologize. You were just doing the act properly. We got the points after all. In fact, I need you to keep doing your part, so don't worry about it. I can't do it. Stabbing someone like that and then pretending like it's nothing is something I can't do. Oh, is not something I can do. Okay. Tommy, I stabbed you like that! My teeth chattered with terror as my whole body shook. I used my hands to stab him with the scissors. Suddenly, my vision was covered, and I felt a familiar warmth. Is he hugging us? Do we get a CG? Tommy, I could tell that he was embracing me to try to calm me down. It's warm and comforting, but the feelings that moved within me wouldn't stop. I just can't do it. I was so close to crying as I tried to push him away. What do you mean? This is Arcadia, after all. Glad that we met, and I'm also happy that we went on a date, but I want to meet you in our original world, not this world. If it weren't for these dramas, I wouldn't have needed to hurt you. If it weren't for the Otherworld stream, I'm not saying everyone else wouldn't have, but I wouldn't have to be hurt both mentally and physically like this. I cried out loud for such a long time. I was short of breath from how much I was shaking, and it took a long time to gather myself. I realized that there'd been an odd silence, so I looked up to see Futami, devoid of emotions. You want to go back that much? I want to understand you, Futami. I wanted to know if your kindness was real. If any part of it was fake. I had to know which. Thing is, everything is insane here, and I don't feel confident telling the real apart from the fake. Right. And the craziness that you mention is what makes this place different. And this place is, without a doubt, insane. Back in our world, you'd surely get arrested for stabbing someone like that. Did you ever hear the rumors back in the original world? Huh? Rumors about the Otherworld stream. And those rumors went from person to person, right? I nodded in silence. Rumors said the Otherworld stream would take people to Arcadia, and that any of their wishes would be granted. I thought that's what it was. However, I couldn't nod in agreement, and I simply continued to listen. If those rumors were completely unfounded, they wouldn't have spread this much. The rumors spread like this because they spread hope. Anything's allowed here in this world. Anything can be obtained. As long as you do what's expected of you, any wish will be granted. You already know that isn't a lie. An unexpected good fortune upturned your life. But if you think about it, that's craziness too. An unexpected good fortune upturn your life. That's not a real sentence, but anyway. You call that misfortune? I don't think so. What are you talking about? Let's just say that you want to go back. But you also want to save Akase. You need a lot of points to do that. Even if you manage to avoid the dramas with me, you'd still have to appear in some sort of drama. That's reality. Romance with someone, conflict with another. Among them are there extreme dramas like this one. Sure, there are ones where crimes are committed. But we still manage to continue. We still manage to save points. By then you truly call me in this world insane? After returning to our original world, will you be able to smile like you used to? I talked fast, and I felt like my heart was cracking. In a way, I wished I could simply discard what Futami was saying as something I couldn't understand. But I couldn't do that. Then, Futami, what about you? I cried out loud and placed my hands over my ears at the same time. You ask him a question and then you cover your ears? What do you want me to do? As if to pry open the silence of that night, but Futami plucked at me with his fingers and tore me open. Phrasing. I told you to offer your everything to me. Let me guide you and it'll all be fine. Soon you'll forget that pain. And that way, you'll feel more comfortable. Happy. The sweet words were driving me insane. I desperately tried to suppress it and heaved a hefty sigh. I can't leave things ambiguous anymore. We'll continue to sink unless everything's exposed. On this shore of lunacy. Please, tell me why you can say that. I took a few more deep breaths and asked him. I have to be calm. Calm. I told myself that as I looked up. Meaning? I have to have a good reason for saying that. A good reason to say that I'd be happier doing that. Well, I do, in fact. And that's because, Futami, you're not an ordinary cast member, but he's neither of these things. He's neither of these things, though. I don't believe for a second he's either one of these things. And I don't know what the right answer... It doesn't really matter, the answer, but one gets you points for him. I would say if they were trying to accuse him of anything, it would be the sponsor, not the producer. I don't know. But he's not any of these things. Like, I don't believe that they would let us do this and get in his route. You know what I mean? They wouldn't let us get in his route if he was actually the producer or the sponsor. Like, that is fully, to me, the reason why certain characters are locked. And because again, this would ruin the whole game, and I'd be right back to being pissed off that we didn't use at least a route order or something. Because, like, no. This ruins the whole game. But I'm trying to think, what would she accuse him of being? I don't believe either one of these. But I don't know. Well, with the sponsor, they're a fanatic about the producer, whatever, but like, I'm just gonna go with the sponsor, I guess, because I don't think he's either. But if he was supposed to be either one, would I say he's more the sponsor than the producer? I guess. Oh, that was the right choice for him anyway. Because you're the sponsor, not the producer. Yes, I understood why the sponsor had an alias when I looked at you, Futami. I can't understand it, but you must believe in the producer fanatically. That's why you're labeled a fanatic. I see. You say that I'm crazy because I believe. Or perhaps I believe because I went crazy. And then again, I suppose it doesn't matter which. Either way, there's no real reason for you to have to point me out as the sponsor. Isn't that right? There's no proof disproving it either. Huh. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Except for the fact that, again, you're an unlocked route, and I don't believe for a second that that's the case. But, again, they make him suspicious and things like that. So, yeah, but, like, it's just weird that... Isn't it a little late for that? You made the decision yourself to come to me. You noticed the lunacy and darkness I held within me, and you still chose to be with me. And it's like all of a sudden. Because it's like this, like, you're crazy, you're a fanatic. It's like, only right now, because never before... Is this bad writing? Like, is Futami's route just that, like... Because Futami always seemed really nice, which, okay, sometimes, oh, you're a really nice character, you're hiding something, sure. And all of a sudden it's like, you saw the lunacy and darkness. Where? Until right this second, when the game's telling me I see it, I didn't see anything. I saw the way they wrote it with Akase after being killed, like you having no emotion about it, but you're trying to tell me it's because you just don't care and you're crazy and dark. Okay, our excuse of like, well, maybe you can't handle the fact that it happened and you're shutting down. Like, that's also valid, and that feels more believable than this. I don't know. Like, now I'm like, really? Okay, you're telling me this, but okay. I don't see it, but sure. I guess? Question mark? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Gyobu would come out with this, like, oh, I'm dark. Yeah, I believe that, because you seem sus as fuck, but, like, Futami was always nice, and now all of a sudden he's crazy and dark. Excuse me? Fuck? Only in this moment, only when we stabbed him did you see a little bit of that, but, like, I feel like this is a weird thing to bring up as if we had seen little sprinkles of it before, because, like, either I'm dumb, okay, or they just didn't do a really good job making, like, bringing that to the forefront where once you get into his route, like, you start seeing this, like, the most you saw was him not having emotion about killing Akase, right? But it's not like, oh, he did it and you were like, there's a weird glint in his eyes where he looks happy about it. He just looked devoid of emotion, which again, could absolutely be you just shut down. Like, if this was you, if you were Futami and you were trying to help and someone died, you'd be like, shut down. You might be really upset, but like, you could see, you'd be like, yeah, no, I could believe I would shut down and be like, I've got no emotions and I'm totally blank because, like, what the fuck, I've got no feelings about this because that stops you from feeling the guilt. But I'm supposed to believe that's because he's dark and evil. Like, I just, all right, I guess, whatever. Sure, I don't. Okay. All right. Right. Because I wanted to know you more, Futami. Because none of that was apparent until literally when we stabbed you and you kind of looked like you enjoyed it a little. Which, okay. But again, I feel like they should have been giving us a little more hints, a little more sprinkles. So when we got to this point, it was like, yeah, okay. But now it's like, wait, what? The fuck just happened? I wanted to know what you were thinking and what kind of a person you are. I thought I was prepared to know, but you weren't. You weren't prepared in the slightest. Yes, but even so, I wanted to believe in your kindness. I wanted to believe in the smile that you showed to encourage me. Then what? Oh, then why not continue to believe? I haven't lied at all. I've only hidden small truths. Yeah, really well. My feelings for you aren't a lie. I've also chosen you. His feelings for me aren't a lie? Just think about it. You should understand because you're so kind. See, like, I mean, he does always have this, like, slightly, like, mischievous kind of, like, angry, like, hi, sus face. But, like, they don't put it on enough, and they should have been using it more, and they should have been sprinkling more of this, like, in instead of, like, or her saying, even when she said, like, no, he was probably just trying to help. Yeah, I was trying to help. And it's like, he says that, but there's something sinister in the way. Like, point it out. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be left up to us to kind of make these assumptions or kind of, like, it should be kind of, like, sprinkled in there until, not so that when you get here, you're like, oh, okay, I guess that's what you were trying to tell him, but you're not clear about. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Even if you save the points to go back to the original world, what do you think will happen to the Otherworld stream after that? Huh? I don't know. It'll continue from now on. Absolutely. It'll continue from now on? That was not the right answer for him, but it doesn't matter. I'm glad you understand. The Otherworld stream will continue, and the number of cast members will increase. The Otherworld stream that you rejected will simply sacrifice someone else. You only care about returning yourself. You don't care about what happens to others. Isn't that right? Maybe that's you, but don't put words in my mouth. You're wrong. I'm not wrong. There'll be more victims because of you. It's true that I never considered that there would be others to follow after me. I might have assumed that someone would have done something. Maybe that was wrong in the first place. I never said it was bad. I was just suggesting that you use your careless kindness to help others. Help others? By staying here, you'd be able to save all the people who would have been brought here otherwise. Yeah, but there might be other people like you who enjoy it, or Tomose who don't care. I care, I don't want to be here, and I want to stab people. Other people might be like, sweet, sounds fun. Just saying. That would make you a hero. Isn't that a great deal? Soon enough, you'll be numb to the pain. And there's nothing to be afraid of, because I'm with you. But there are people waiting for me. My younger siblings, my parents, my friends, they don't remember you. You really think they're waiting forever, from now on, no matter how long it takes, from the bottom of their hearts, just because nobody loves you? Huh? People's hearts change easily. Feel this way right now, but what about in a few years? You might change just like my little brother. You'll no longer be needed, and even your memory will fade. But this world, I am different. I'll always need you. I'll never leave your side. You know, this is oddly romantic for someone who's now dark and sinister and wasn't that way before, and this part's going on way too long, I'm sorry. I'll give you everything you want. You already realize this, don't you? When you entrusted your hand to me, you must have felt that you wanted to be with me. Well, I specifically said it. It's alright to give up. Reason, logic, none of that's needed. Let's live together. From now on, forever. Is this the end of the route? I knew it. Futami, you were the traitor after all. I don't believe he is, though. The music just got intense. I don't believe this for a second, because why would the game let us play his route, and that would piss me off? This will make me so much more mad about not following a route order because we just ruined the whole game. That's right. I am the producer. I don't think that's true, though. Producer? Am I the traitor you were seeking? That's the answer you were looking for. I created the Otherworld stream and sent so many people to their dead ends. I mean, it would be believable, but again, I just don't feel like... I am the producer that you hate so much. I like how she's like, ... What's wrong? Isn't this the answer you wanted? Why are you hesitating? Because I don't think it's true. You know who the producer is now. Just accuse me and you win the game. Then you can go back to your world. Aren't you glad? Here's the thing, though. If we accuse you and we're wrong, don't we all die? What was the consequence of accusing the wrong person? Why would he say that and want me to accuse him if it's not him? That's... Huh? Did you forget? There was that special rule. If you find the producer hiding among the cast and accuse them, you can all go back. That's the rule. You have to declare it clearly, otherwise it won't be accepted as your answer. But, or will you come with me? Forget all about the other cast members in your family and choose me. The reason why you say that, the reason why you're kind to me, is because I was beginning to think that you were a sponsor. You figured it all out, so I'll tell you the truth. The answer is yes. And of everyone, I thought you were the most similar to me, and you were also the most vulnerable. That's why I chose you. And I tried my best to become closer to you by doing all sorts of things. Not only of you. This is that result. We go on dates like lovers and are so close now. Isn't this like true love? You know, he does actually sound like someone crazy. But I still don't believe that he's the producer? No, this isn't love at all. This part is way too fucking long. I feel like we're gonna have to stop in the middle of this. I'm also very hungry right now. Oh, perfect. Okay, we're gonna cry out in anger and run away in the next part. I don't think he's really the producer. Because, again, I feel like the locked routes should be the producer and the sponsor because there's really no point otherwise. You know what I mean? But I'm very... Because, again, that would just... It ruins the game. Like, 100% ruined. If this is the truth. But I feel like he's saying that, and I don't exactly know why. So I'm curious, but anyway, we'll find out. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.